It's review time, today with MAPS suspension. Hello and welcome to another video. Today it's again a MAPS program review. I'm going to tackle MAPS suspension. I'm almost done with all of them. I think this is the second last review of the current programs they have. So yeah, this is so almost done. This one has been requested, so I hope it finds a couple of people who enjoy this. So far you guys seem to really like my maps review, so that's really cool. I'm glad that I can help you all out with my thoughts and experiences with the programs. So maps suspension. So this is a suspension trainer program or a sling trainer program, or maybe you also know this as TRX, which is kind of a trademark. So one of these names you will probably be familiar with. Either way, for this program you obviously need any form of suspension trainer, otherwise you can't do it, and of course a place where you actually can attach it properly. So this could be a very sturdy door frame or a power rack or something along those lines. Whatever you use, make sure that it's actually suitable for hanging on it in for the training session later on, so that you avoid any accidents, injuries from your training. MAPS suspension comes with your typical blueprint. They have full body workout sessions designed to be done with the suspension trainer. You have two different phases. Each phase goes for a total of 4 weeks. It's always 3 days a week of training. In the first phase you will do around 2 to 3 sets during all the 4 weeks, and in the second phase they add another set, so it's going to be a little more work. It's 3 to 4 sets. Also in the first phase rep ranges are a little bit lower. You will do 8 to 10 reps, whereas in the second phase you will do 10 to 15 reps. The overall idea or difference between the two phases is the first phase is it's more like an introduction phase where you should become familiar with the program and suspension training, so you should be a lot more stable the last day of the 4 weeks than the first ones, but also you have built some confidence in the movement and some extra stability and extra, hopefully, muscle mass to control the movement. And then in the second phase, where it's your hypertrophy phase, more like where you just will work a lot harder. It also shows, in my opinion, in the different programs for the phases, the workouts for the phases. I had a look at them, and while that's the cool thing about suspension training, you can adjust the difficulty to your needs, so you can progress if whatever you are doing is too easy, or you can regress if things are too hard, and find a way to work around everything. But overall, the second phase workouts just seem, from just the exercise selection movement, a little bit more difficult. Nothing that is not manageable, but just the way it looks, as the way it's set up. The rest periods between sets is in both phases the same, 60 to 90 seconds. The way it's structured is, if you work the way it's mapped out in the calendar, you basically start on, let's say, Monday. You have your first actual workout, and you have a recovery day, then you have a next workout, another recovery day, and your third workout, and then the weekend would be recovery days. Here recovery days are actually active recovery days, meaning that you have a step goal or a movement target, need target, however you want to call it. In the first phase this is 8 to 15,000 steps a day. So if you have a more office-like job or a more sedentary lifestyle, this is already going to be a little bit of work, so you actually have to make an effort to get 8 to 15,000 steps in. your active recovery session. So you can obviously spread this throughout the day. Active recovery doesn't necessarily mean that it's 10,000 steps. It could be, walking in your garden, sightseeing in a new city, doing laundry, playing with your nephew, or whatever it might be, that walking your dog, whatever is low-key movement or exercise that isn't actually exercise. So it's just you doing stuff that you have to do that will you just make your body move. So going for a walk has many other benefits, especially if you pair it with going for a walk after you had a big meal. So let's say you're going for 15 minutes after breakfast, lunch and dinner, then you might have already 6,000 steps done, depending on how fast you walk. Helps your digestion, helps to actually be more creative in your job, to have small breaks. So this is not really a big deal if you want to. The second phase is now actually kind of a challenge, and there if it's probably going to be difficult if you actually schedule a block every recovery day where you go for an hour or 90 minutes out to walk, because here the targets are 15 to 25,000 steps a day. So that's 4 times a week. So that's actually going to be some work for most people, unless you have a job that actually makes you walk a lot anyhow. Then you might even want to add a few more extra steps as recovery, depending on how your fitness level is. So you have to readjust there a little bit like this. You will get a workout calendar where everything is mapped out. So when you're not sure, you actually just have to look there and then you're good to go. Overall, that's already map suspension. It's quite a simple thing. You need the suspension trainer to make it work. I have been asked to give my thoughts about comparing it with Maps Anywhere, especially the suspension mod that is part of the program. And if one of the two is then maybe better or more suitable for someone or not. So I had a look in the Maps Anywhere training program, and in Maps Anywhere I have a review for this too. I will link to it so you can have a look if you don't know. But Maps Anywhere is scheduled in a way that you have an AMP session and the following day you have a foundational workout, and it just switches back and forth until you have 2 foundational workouts and 3 AMP sets, and then you have 2 rest days. And for the AMP sets, instead of doing body work, band work, stuff like this, body and isometric work or stuff with bands, plyo work, you could substitute it for special suspension training exercises. They have a list, so you just, instead of doing one block of exercise from your typical AMP workout, you just pick and choose your own adventure from the AMP suspension training bonus mod, which looks fine. It's just going to be different. So if you are doing Maps Anywhere and maybe you are on the road and you can bring your suspension trainer, it might be cool just to mix things up. It's absolutely not necessary, and it's really different. The two are really different programs. There is this kind of interconnection with the suspension mod. I think if you actually can bring if you are traveling around for whatever reason, business or just for fun, I think even the Maps suspension program might be the better pick. At least I think that's the one I would pick if I would be certain that I could bring and properly attach the sling trainer to where I am. Chances are that I don't have that much time to train. So here I would be at just 3 training sessions a week that I could just do, and then maybe my recovery days are sightseeing or doing stuff in my business trip, because I'm on check a few things, a few locations out. So maybe I can even combine work with the recovery session. I don't know. So I personally probably would prefer even using Maps suspension as an anywhere substitute if I would know that I can use it. So that's that. Then a quick look on the website. as per usual, your usual thing. You have the blueprint, you have all the videos, so everything as per usual is demonstrated, which looks good, as it's never not good. So let's be honest here. The money back guarantee price is $78.87, sorry. And I think, depending on how much you actually know about suspension training, that's a fair price, just to have an idea to see how you can actually structure it. So basically, if you use it as a way to not just do the training sessions, but learn from it, that's a fair price. If you can get it on sale then and just want to know how to train, that's probably even better. Besides that, there's not that much. They also have their own suspension trainer. If you are not sure what to get, they have one. That said, if you are doing suspension training, don't cheap out on your suspension trainer. Make sure that it's really a quality suspension training system, so that you really don't get injured because something breaks mid rep. That would be not cool at all. Maybe find something that makes you a little bit more flexible, that you can put it has an extra door anchor, like the one that I just showed you, and you can put it on a tree or a power rack, so that you are a little bit more flexible here. Besides that, there is really not much to say. It looks fun. I haven't done it. I probably will not do it for quite a while, simply because I don't have a sling trainer at my disposal. I did use it in gyms and enjoy it. I personally used it to do row variations and stuff for my abs, just because it's a different challenge. It's fun. What's really cool is doing Bulgarian split squats with it. Well, cool, Bulgarian split squats are not cool, they are terrible, but it makes you work your stability a lot more than if you put your rear leg on a bench. So that's something that might be quite a challenge, but a positive one. So keep that in mind. It's a fun tool, like everything else. It's a tool in your toolbox. Use it when you need it, when it makes sense, when it's appropriate. If you like my reviews, give me a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share the video. All of this helps. I've been growing a little bit the last couple of weeks, so that's quite exciting. And always happy to get your feedback and help you with your questions. So have a nice day. See you next time. Bye.